In the previous episode, I spent a week at Efati Island, hiding from adverse weather, but once it cleared up, I headed north on 2 day sails, the first to the small island of Emae, aiming for the northwestern side, sheltered from the southeast trade winds.
It's Thursday, the 6th of June. We've been a month since we left Apua in New Zealand. Here's our anchorage, a monster triple spreader boat called Taurus. And we were anchored just in front of these two big houses where there's a red mooring ball that I didn't use, just some private ball presumably. It's a fancy estate here with a bunch of houses built, but still lots of room. And the sun is about to come up. Sailed off the anchor very nicely, slowly, but now we're getting going, and I think it's 30 miles to this island of Emae, and we're going to go out this path here. I can't forget its name. Oops, this path here. There's the entrance, Hillard Channel that we came in, or Hillard Passage. I still haven't figured out who Hillard was, but Havana, this is Port Havana Bay, was a HMS, Her Majesty's ship, out of Portsmouth. Spent a couple of years here around 1850, travelling back and forth around Tonga, Fiji, New Caledonia and Vanuatu. And we have the sun about to come over the edge of the trees. We're approaching the Purumia Passage here. It's pretty deep, just got to be careful of the sides. The guy with the Kiwi with the e-bike and scooter rental place told me that this end, this low spit end of Lalipa Island, over here, big village at the other end, has been bought by a cruise company that plans to put in a resort here. And I see some white signs on the shore, one there, one up there. I wonder if that's what that's about. Anyway, if that's true, this piece of land will look very different in a few years when the next generation of sailors comes through here. Yeah, it took us a little while to get going this morning. Had to use the engine a little bit to get away from the island. Now we're in this gap between the islands and we've got a nice breeze coming through. You can see maybe these high islands here will give us a wind shadow. I can make out the island we're going to, but I'm sure you can't. It's way up there. And we have full sail set. The staysail on the jib up there. There's our Vanuatu courtesy flag. I'm not sure I've shown you that before. I'm not sure I'm showing it now. Let's see, where the hell is it? There it is. Quite a few people say that it looks like the South African flag, which is true to some extent. Colourful, and that V in the middle. Anyway, here's the South African flag for comparison. And yeah, it's a lovely day. Nice clear sky. Had a good night's sleep. And off to Emae. Here's our chart. We're leaving Efati down at the bottom here. I'm going up to Emae up the top. We're doing 5 knots. Excellent. About 5 hours sailing to go at this rate. Alright, this is more like it. We're in between these two islands now and just rocking along here. Oh man, this is fun. We're doing 7 knots now. 6.2, 6.4. 7, yeah. She is happily flying along. See the fishing lines out the back. Nothing yet. For a while I had full mainsail up, but now we're all the way down to triple reef mainsail. It's pretty much depowered, luffing. We're on a beam reach pretty much. And just flying along. It's absolutely wonderful. What a gorgeous day. Some clouds up ahead, but no big deal. And yeah, it's a little, rocking and rolling. The waves are reasonably big, but nothing like they would have been during the Maramu when we were hiding out in Port Vila instead. You can see from the autopilot there, I'm not using the autopilot, I'm just using that as a guide to how we're sailing. Using the wind vane, which is struggling to handle the power in the sails, so I think it's time to put a couple of furls into the jib. Just a minute or two later, we are indeed doing 6 to 7 knots. Flying along. Great fun. Oh, it's been a wild sail the last couple of hours coming down here, passing a couple of islands. This is Emae. It's got 3 peaks to it. I presume we're all volcanoes. And yeah, it's the last little bit of this wild ride. Way exposed to the trade winds and the swell. It hasn't been too bad because the wind was down yesterday, so. But what you wouldn't believe is you're just down literally a mile downwind. There's a reef, Cook's Reef. And there is simply no way that you would be able to tell it's there coming from this direction. Upward. You just would never see it.
I dropped anchor as close to shore as possible on a sandy patch amongst coral heads, which invited a pleasant snorkel. And the next morning the nearby extinct volcano looked like it was smoking as cloud formed at the peak.
It's Friday the 7th June. Had a lovely quiet night last night. Lots of stargazing. Absolutely no lights around. It's a very pleasant place. Old volcano over there. Lots of birds in the trees on the beach. And quite close by here, some pretty nice coral. There's a village over there as well right now. Christoph and Frederick are over there getting some lobsters. Just want to show you anchorage. I'll show you very well. Beautiful, clear, sandy spot here with coral on each side, but this coral is pretty low, pretty easy to get the anchor free, although it's 20 feet deep. That's pushing my limit these days.
I later learned from the famous American sailor Webb Charles that Emae is where he drifted to after his boat was pitch-poled in a storm in 1980. Rescued by locals, he was transported to hospital in Port Vila to recover from the 2 weeks he spent with little food or water in his dinghy. He eventually recovered his boat from the island, re-rigged her, and sailed on to Australia. Pretty amazing.
Well, we're leaving Emae. We have a squall coming in. A fairly big one by the looks of it. We'll see, it might dissipate by the time it gets to us. And Tin Lizzie is staying behind to try to get some lobster. And we are headed that way to Epi. Be there at about 4 o'clock. 30 miles, 5 knots, should take 6 hours.
Epi is a much larger island, and we were headed to Lemon Bay in the northwest corner, again sheltered from the trade winds, in company with several other boats showing within 6 miles of us on AIS.
And we have dolphins. Part of about 12 maybe altogether. And look at these guys, and they're so fat. I don't actually understand why they play with us, because they can just go shooting off. Here's one coming back. Whoa! 40, they love it. I guess it's just fun for them. Shrimp fishing. Yeah, there we go. Whole bunch. There's about a dozen altogether. Some on the other side. Oh, it's showing us got a nice pale bottom, silver flank. They go up and they catch a wave to ride back down and surf it just like we like to. It's very cool.
As the third squall of the day approached, Tin Lizzie was framed by a brilliant rainbow on the front edge of it, lit by the afternoon sun.
We're just in the third squall of the day. Not a very strong one, but I've decided to hand steer for a while. Just give the wind pilot and the tiller pilot when I'm using it. There's the tiller pilot set aside and the wind pilot chain set aside. Just don't want to break something in these squalls. I'm not overpowered. I've got one reef in the main. You can see there. We're doing good, but yeah. Once we're over 6 into 7 knots, then things are obviously under strain. We're headed up here to this bay at the top there. Here comes Bush Ranger powering past us. Wow, they are really rocketed.
Bush Ranger had the same sail configuration as us, but is a bigger boat and well sailed, and they kindly gave me these excellent pictures of sea change, also charging along as they passed us. Some of the best pictures I have of us sailing. As we sailed up the west coast of Epi, the fourth squall of the day approached, again providing a complete rainbow.
Reefing, unreefing and reefing. It's blowing like stink. We're going upwind at, well, I don't know how fast we're going. Upwind at 5 to 6 knots. Heeling, not that bad right now. 15, there we go, 20, 25. Anyway, it's fun. Oh, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. I have the full jib because we need it for the power, staysail, and just the triple reef main. It is howling. Trades are low and 20 coming off the land here. They've gone quite northeast on us. It's making it very hard to get in here, but you won't be able to see it, I don't think, that the anchorage is way up there. There's about 5 or 6 boats already there. And basically I'm aiming for this island here, and when I get there to get into its shelter, I'll be able to get the main down, half fill the jib. There's Tin Lizzie, and they're doing a much better job than I am. They're staying closer to the shore. I was worried about a wind shadow. Yeah, I needn't have worried about that. They're going to pass us before we get there.
Christoph on Tin Lizzie tacked before we did and beat us into this lovely bay with a well-protected anchorage and a large village on shore.
Oh, made it into Lemon Bay. Tin Lizzie just beat me, even though they started an hour afterwards. Just go slowly around here, even with a bit of wind noise. And there are a baker's dozen of boats here. Almost half of them catamarans. I'm probably anchored a little too close to Mandan over here. There's second sun over there. But there's nice people. Hopefully they won't mind too much. And yeah, that's pretty at the end of the day, the sunset.
In calm anchorages, I sometimes put a LED spotlight over the side to see what fish it might attract.
This is a squid that comes in and grabs a little fish every now and then. And the squid is back. There it goes. Soon. Did it get one? I don't know. Yeah, I think it did.
In the next episode, I continue north to the next large island of Ambrim, where a festival was advertised at a small family village called Lon Walwal.